If you're trying to make at least $100,000 a year and with a box truck business, well, you might need to lease a box truck. You might need to lease a vehicle because there's not a lot of folks who have the ability to apply for a business loan. So if you're looking for a business line of credit or a business loan for your box truck business and you can't really, you cannot score a business loan, you want to watch this show because I'm going to show you how to lease a box truck for your business. So here are the steps I really want you to pay attention to. The first thing you need to really have a clear idea about is your business needs. Your business needs will impact the kind of box truck you are leasing, but also the leasing company. So it's important to know your business needs. What are we talking about here? We're talking about you need to think about the specific requirements for your business, the types of loads you want to haul, the types of geography you want to cover. Do you want to do interstate? Do you want to do OTR? Do you want to do like urban area? Do you want to do short loads? Do you want to do short trips? Do you want to do long trips? Those elements will impact the quality and strength and profile of the box truck you need to lease. So you got to be really, really careful here. We're talking about you considering factors like size, capacity, and intended use. And it's really crucial to calculate your budget meticulously, encompassing, like you have to encompass the lease payments, but also additional expenses like insurance and maintenance. This is important. When we talk about determining your business needs, we're not just talking about, listen, yeah, you have you're paying $500 to the leasing company every month. Okay. But it's the $500 is just one part of the equation. You got to think about insurance, think about maintenance, okay? And you also need to think about seasonal demands. So when we talk about determining your business needs, you got to really understand your geography really much and the kind of loads you want to haul. Are those loads seasonal? What kind of competition do you have? And are you going to find the loads through load boards? Or are you going to go through third parties, dispatchers, freight dispatchers, or broker networks? Really, really important. But you got to really do this as soon as possible, even before you start researching the leasing company. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. The second thing you need to do here is to research box truck leasing companies. The thing is that when we talk about leasing a box truck for business, you need to be very specific about the company you want to work with. The thing is, a lot of leasing companies, they will lease you a box truck for, let's say, for a 1 week project or a 3-day project. But if you are looking for using the box truck permanently in your in your courier business, you need to actually find specific type of leasing companies. We have covered this on another show, so I'm not going to go in depth here. But I just need to let you know that when we talk about leasing companies, when it comes to researching box truck leasing companies, the attention to detail is really important. You want to do extensive research to identify reputable leasing companies in your region, in your state, in your city, in your county. So you always want to start with, when we talk about courier business in general, and we've said this time and again on this show, it's important to think about geography. So you want to think about companies in your region and don't settle for the first option. Instead, you want to compare and contrast leasing options, terms, and pricing from multiple providers to pinpoint the most suitable one for your business. What I'm trying to say here is that, a lot of folks, they think about price only when they think about leasing company. Like if they have to choose a box truck leasing company, they think automatically about the price. But price is just one element. And and we have said this also on the show before. You do not want to go for the cheapest option all the time, because sometimes the cheapest option lacks some of the features that you need in your box truck leasing agreement. Okay, think about customer reviews. Also think about recommendations. If you have friends or family, if you have folks who are already in the courier business and they also are comfortable with the box truck that they have leased for their business, then it's just a lot better to go with those resources as well. And so you also want to have a company that actually has a great customer service, because you are going to have problems with your box truck, that's for sure. So when a problem arises, how do you fix that problem? When a problem arises, how do you actually, how do you find solutions to remedy the problem? And so please be very careful here. Do due diligence to make sure you are talking to a trusted leasing partner. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about how to lease a box truck for a business in order to actually boost your revenue. The third thing you want to do here is you want to compare and contrast lease terms. So if you're trying to really boost your business, your box truck business by 1 million, by 100,000, by $500,000, whatever. So in some cases, you might need to lease. So if you can't really finance, if you can't get a business loan or a business line of credit, then you might want to lease. Okay. So when we talk about comparing and contrasting lease terms, we're talking about a few things. First of all, the length of the lease, the monthly payment, the additional fees or charges, early termination policy, and the flexibility of the lease terms. So this 5 elements are quintessential. Let me quickly go through them once again. So the length of the lease. You want to evaluate the duration of the lease offered by each company. Is it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Usually you want to really settle for 3 years. That's like the sweet spot. So you can renegotiate your leasing agreement from time to time. Think about the monthly payment amount. Also, this is going to come out of your budget. Okay. And you do not want to strain your finances. Boss, this is really important. So what you want to do here is you want to compare and contrast the payment amounts from different companies to find the most reasonable option. And again, everything starts in your region, in your state. So where you're at right now, in your city, you want to look for leasing companies in the area and see what kind of monthly payment they're asking you. Okay. And think about additional fees or charges. So you want to scrutinize the lease agreements for any additional fees or charges beyond the monthly payments, because those add-ons can really add on ASAP. So we're talking here about things like maintenance fees, insurance costs, mileage restrictions, or penalties for exceeding the agreed upon usage limit. And so be aware of all potential expenses to avoid surprises later. Also think about an early termination policy. So, each leasing company has an early termination company. And in case your business needs change or unforeseen circumstances arise, you should know the options available to terminate the box truck lease early and any associated costs or penalties. And the last thing is think about the flexibility of the lease terms. Are those lease terms flexible? Things like mileage limits or upgrading to a larger box truck if needed. So those are elements you need to pay attention to. Now we're having the fun part. Okay. Number 4, you want to choose your box truck. So the whole thing here is that you are able to have a conversation with the leasing company if you already have a clear idea about the box truck that you really want. And again, going back to what I said when I started to this conversation, you got to really have a clear idea about your needs. What kind of haul you want to, what kind of loads you want to haul, what kinds of transportation processes you want to put in place. Do you want to do OTR? Do you want to do interstate? Do you want to do urban areas? Do you want to do suburban? Do you want to do a first mile, last mile, middle mile? All those conversations should be clear. You should have a clear answer to all those questions. Okay. So when leasing a box truck for your business, it's crucial to follow a few steps. You need to determine your business needs. Okay. Research the leasing company. You need to choose a box truck that best meets your business needs. So when we talk about choosing your box truck, consider the size, the weight capacity, the fuel efficiency, additional features, and maintenance history. Okay. Maintenance history is really important. And you also need to have a clear idea about what you should do if you were to change. Because when we talk about choosing your box truck, sometimes it's just better to go to the dealership and see the box truck for real. Like don't just do your research in theory. No, you want to actually see things from a practical point of view. So take the time to go to a dealership and identify like all the box trucks that you have identified in paper. You want to actually go to any dealerships and have and see how the vehicle looks like, how it's easily maneuverable, because maneuverability is an important element to pay attention to here, especially if you are going to do very complicated loads or very, very heavy loads. You want to make sure that you can master the machine, that you have a clear command of the machine. Okay. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about how to lease a box truck for business. The next thing I want you to do here is to sign the lease agreement. And so if you want to lease the box truck for business, you gotta sign the lease agreement. And the lease agreement has everything that you need to really, it has every information that you really need if you want to properly run your box truck business. And it's one of those things where people say, well, I'm not really interested in the fine prints. I ain't got no time for it. Well, you better have time for it, because if something were to happen, you are going to pay big time. I mean, big time. So it's important if you can't read it yourself, or if you can read it, but you do not understand the legal lingo, the legal verbiage, then you want to really have someone in your entourage explain those to you. Okay. You want to carefully read the entire lease agreements and understand all the terms and conditions. You want to seek clarification from the leasing company if necessary. Note important details such as the lease duration, monthly payment amount, and additional fees or charges. And you want to negotiate if possible and be respectful of the whole process, because again, this is the leasing company is a business, and you want to be professional during the process. And sometimes it's just better to have back and forth. It's part of the process. Okay. Don't say like, well, I don't want to haggle because I'm kind of tired of that. No. You want to really avail yourself of the whole process, the whole negotiation process, and see what kind of middle ground you can find with the leasing company. Okay. And keep a copy of the signed documents, the signed agreements for your records, and comply with all terms and conditions throughout the lease period. Okay. Now remember, signing a lease agreement is a legally binding commitment. All right. So you want to really make sure that you understand and agree to all the terms before proceeding. This is what I was just telling you earlier. It's not about just rushing or whatever. I mean, yeah, maybe you just want to start your box truck business ASAP, but you want to take the time. Take the time to read everything. Okay. And if needed, consult with a legal professional to ensure that you fully comprehend the implications of the agreement. It's one of those things where, again, you want to go with a local lawyer, and you want to prioritize a lawyer who has expertise in the transportation sector. Okay, don't just go and hire any lawyer that you find on the yellow pages. No, you want to have somebody who has experience in the type of work you want to outsource to him or her. The next thing you want to do here is you want to insure your box truck. Now, when we talk about leasing a box truck for business, you have two options. You have either insurance is included in the monthly leasing payment, or it's not. Most of the time, 60% of the time, basically insurance is already included in the leasing payment that you make. Okay, and so you want to arrange an insurance coverage for your leased box truck is a critical step in safeguarding your business. And so if you have to do it yourself, then you need to follow a few steps. But if possible, it's always better to have the insurance, to have the leasing company take care of that. But if you have to do it yourself, first of all, you want to secure comprehensive insurance that covers all the bases, including liability, cargo, and physical damage insurance. Because see, the thing is, you want to cover your ass. If you're going to start a box truck for a box truck business and you're not properly covered, you might have a problem. Okay, because accidents, because events like unfortunate events with the box truck tend to trigger a lot of expenses, monetarily speaking, but also legally speaking. Okay, and so pay careful attention to the insurance requirements outlined in the lease agreements and ensure strict adherence to them. And equally important here is maintaining impeccable records of all your insurance documents and payments. So this is kind of cool because you want to actually be compliant vis-a-vis state laws, but also compliant vis-a-vis your like all the other stakeholders. And if something were to happen, again, you're doing this when times are good, right? Because when an accident strike, again, as I said before, the payments that go out in conjunction with the box truck are pretty heavy, and you do not want to bear that. You want the insurance company to take care of it because they have the insurance company has the heft, has the the depth and breadth to make those payments. But you as a person, you're not going to want to be able to pay $500,000 or $1 million in damages if your box truck is involved in any accident. Okay, so insurance, you have to really pay attention to that. But again, first negotiate if you can get insurance through the leasing company. The last part of today's conversation is if you want to lease a box truck for business, you need to maintain your box truck. And usually, a lot of leasing agreements, they have a clause that revolves around the maintenance of the box truck. But in some cases, you might have to actually do it yourself. And so proper maintenance of your leased box truck is paramount for its performance and longevity, right? And so again, everything depends on the types of loads you're gonna haul with the box truck. And if you're doing, for instance, if you're doing reefer, if you're doing anything refrigerated, then you might need to think about special equipment to make sure you have the ability to conserve, perishables. For instance, if you're doing hazmat, you have to make sure that you have all kinds of gear, all kinds of features, all kinds of stuff that will allow you not to be sick afterwards, because you don't want to get sick afterwards again. So when we talk about maintenance, we're talking about the type of loads you haul. And so remember that essential tasks like oil changes, tire rotations, and thorough inspections are your primary responsibility. So do not underestimate the significance of those upkeep procedures. And they not only keep your box truck running smoothly, but also help identify and address potential features before they escalate. What I want to say here is that, the thing is that if you do not maintain your box truck, what will happen is that you will be really like stranded, quote unquote, God forbid, you can be stranded on the highway, and you can start calling your boss on a Saturday evening to sort of come, pick you up. Pick you up. And so those are things that you want to really avoid. Okay. And so you want to stay vigilant and stick to a strict maintenance schedule. And this not only ensures your safety on the road, but also upholds your commitment to the lease agreement. And keep in mind, a well-maintained box truck is a reliable asset that keep your business operations running seamlessly. And one thing I want to say also is that when we talk about leasing a box truck for business, remember that everything starts with a very simple premise. If you can get a loan to get your box truck for a business, okay. But if you cannot get a loan, don't despair. Don't feel desperate and say, you know what? I'll never do anything successful. No, you can do a lot of stuff, but you might need to. So you don't have to buy a box truck. You need to lease it. Now, leasing has its pros and cons, but yeah, it's really important to really understand that you're not going to walk in there. If you have let's say you have a good FICO score, you do not want to walk into a leasing company right away. You first want to explore options to see what they have. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about how to lease a box truck for business. And number one, determine your business needs. Number two, research box truck leasing companies. Number three, compare lease terms. Number four, choose your box truck. Number five, sign the lease agreement. Number six, insure your box truck. Number seven, maintain your box truck. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.